Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
There is a whole aspect of Jewish prayer that is colloquially known as Jewish aerobics. That is to say, we do an awful lot of standing and sitting and bowing and swaying and other things that might feel like it's just there to keep the blood pumping. And certainly on chilly days, it is helpful to have those extra moments to flex the body and get things moving. So can you tell me some of the examples? Where do we, for example, rise? What are the parts of the service that are usually recited while standing? Yes, give me one.
Anytime the Aron HaKodesh is open.
Okay, so there is a absolute ironclad rule that if the Aron HaKodesh, if the Holy Ark is opened, then whoop, everybody should stand. I know that many people wait for the rabbi to say, please rise, but honestly, I am the safety net. If you see it opening, you can take the initiative, make the executive decision to go ahead and stand up, even if I haven't said it yet. Especially if this happens sometimes because someone has slipped it open behind my back and I didn't notice it. Don't wait for me, stand. Other times that we stand during the service.
I'll go with the Amida for $100.
Oh, the Amidah for 100. In fact, the Amidah means standing. I mean, that is literally the meaning of the word Amidah. Now, the Amidah you might know better as the section of prayers that begins with the Avot, where we remind ourselves that God has not only been our God, but also the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, and Leah. And this section of the service is archetypically said while standing. Other times where we will stand.
Kaddish.
The Kaddish. If you are leading Kaddish, of course you are standing. If you are a mourner and joining in that recitation, then you stand as well. Little known fact, if you are already standing when the Kaddish begins, even if you're not leading it, you don't sit down. Not until after the middle Yehei Shemei line, then you can sit down if you would like. But if the Kaddish catches you already standing, you stay standing throughout the rest of the Kaddish. Throughout that first chunk of the Kaddish. Yes?
Kiddush.
The Kiddush, right? Kiddush, the blessing that we say over the cup of wine for Shabbat and other holidays. Again, we recite while we are standing. You guys are doing great. You haven't missed anything yet. No, I haven't had any errors. Yes?
Aleinu.
Aleinu. Within the Ashkenazic world, where we recite Aleinu at the end of all of our services, we are always reciting Aleinu while standing.
Havdalah.
Havdalah is also typically recited while standing, although it's more private, and so you may not know what everyone else is doing. Trust me, they're standing too.
Hallel.
Hallel, the set of psalms that we recite in the middle of our holidays, such as Pesach and Shavuot and Sukkot, is also recited while standing. Of course, that may also be because it makes it easier to sing, but maybe not. That's maybe not the only reason.
Anytime the Torah is taken from the ark and lifted in the held,
If the Torah is being held, if the Torah is being moved, if the Torah is in motion in any way, shape, or form, whether the ark doors are still open or not, the Torah is there, then we are standing for that as well.
I think some people do in private that they stand up for Birchat Hamazon.
I've never seen that particular custom of standing for Birkat Hamazon.
But I've seen it standing for Birchat Hamazon.
Very interesting. See, there's always something new to learn about different cultures and communities.
The Hatzi Kaddish after the Shavi Aliyah.
The Hatzi Kaddish that comes in the middle of the Torah service, in between the formal aliyot, the readings that are done for Shabbat, and the beginning of what's called Maftir, the bonus section that we do as an introduction and connection to the Haftorah. In order to demarcate that moment, we have the Hatzi Kaddish, and we rise as a congregation for that point. Funny though, no one's actually mentioned the next time that we all together, because there's a Mourner's Kaddish coming up, but after the Mourner's Kaddish, there is a universal, always happens, we all stand for it moment in the service too.
I was going to say, in some customs, the entirety of a Shiva minyan, people are standing.
Sometimes it's a custom, sometimes it's a lack of chairs. Honestly, it's not always easy to find a place to sit in a Shiva minyan, which is a sign of a healthy community that has come together.
well, not cheating, but Baruch.
The Baruch Hu. Why is that cheating?
Well, you gave me a hint.
I gave the hint, yes, the Baruch Hu as well, which is the formal call to worship, the beginning of our service. And I know you're all looking at your watches saying, hasn't this service been going since 6 o'clock? That was all preliminary. That was all bonus material that we have added over the last few centuries. The Barhu, which we'll get to in a minute as soon as I shut up, that is the section that actually formally begins the evening service.
The Vayehulu.
And Vayahulu, when we celebrate Shabbat as being the capstone of creation as well. All right, so we've got a good list. There are more, but I'm going to stop it here because otherwise we're never going to get to the Barhu. And I want to ask you why we bother standing for any of these things. What does standing mean?
Sign
I
of
mean,
respect.
it's like, do I pray better when I'm on my feet?
Sign of respect.
Respect, a sign of respect. I know it sounds so obvious, right? But let me throw it back. Does that mean we don't respect the other things? I mean, do I not respect the whole section of Lachadodi that we did prior to Bowie? Do I not respect it, but I only respect what happens at the end? Is it less dignified, less important, less significant?
We're being angelic.
So within the Kedusha, we know very much that we are trying to imitate the angels, and then, don't tell them this, surpass them. But that doesn't apply for all of the other reasons why we are standing. So respect is a funny thing, right? Respect is something that comes in different degrees, and it comes in different levels. One should obviously have a baseline level of respect for the entirety of the service. This is why we behave differently when we are in the middle of a service than at other times. But even in that higher level of respect in a service, there are still moments when we wish to go even higher, when we have to push ourselves to have more respect. And for those moments, we stand. Now, why should standing be a sign of greater respect? I mean, can't I respect someone or something while sitting down?
Maybe that while we're standing, we can also bend the knee and we can bend down to the person that while we're sitting, we don't have that movement that we can do while we're standing.
So for certain prayers where we bow, like we did at the end of Lachadodi, or like we will during Aleinu or Barhu, certainly while standing, bowing is much more feasible. It works better with the body anatomy. But we don't bow every time we stand.
Is it because we're closer to God?
It's not trying to gain a few extra inches. It's a wonderful idea, but we do believe very strongly that God is equally available at every altitude. This is why the taller you are, one does not expect you to be more righteous automatically. And the shorter you are, doesn't make you a wicked person. That's entirely up to you. So the act of standing is essentially a sign of respect, not just in Jewish prayer, but in many, many parts of the world, precisely because it is inconvenient. Right? When we stand up, we are bothering ourselves. We are doing something which takes a little extra energy. We are getting a little bit less comfortable than we might have been in our chair. And by standing up, we are saying, this prayer, or this person, or this moment is worth my inconvenience. I don't need to be 100% cozy and comfortable reclining in my chair. For this, I'm going to stand up precisely because it takes effort, precisely because it shows that I am willing to discomfort myself in order to respond to whatever the significance is of this moment, whether it be prayer, whether it be a person we respect, or some other reason. Standing has a second function as well, which is you're now prepared for action. When we are rising for these moments in our service, these pinnacle moments where we are asked to show the greatest amount of respect, which is indicated by our standing, we are meant to also not merely passively show respect by standing, but to also prepare ourselves as we read the prayer, as we join together, to imagine ourselves acting upon what it is that we are declaring. If we are declaring that God should be blessed, as we do in the Barhu, and we'll do in just a few minutes, then by standing, we are not only showing that we are willing to inconvenience ourselves to make that declaration, but that we are now prepared to act in that way. That when we go out in the world, when we move and act in the world, this will be in our mind. Likewise, when we celebrate the unique destiny of the Jewish people in Aleinu, this is not merely a recitation of a beautiful melody and lovely poetry. This is a call to action. And by standing, we prepare ourselves to answer that call to action. Judaism has many moments of deep meditation and self-reflection. It has moments of calm and peace. It has moments where we can feel tranquil and relaxed in our relationship with God. The moments where we stand, however, while building off of those moments of peace, are meant to be moments of action. They're meant to be something that transforms the words that we have said, the thoughts and feelings that we have had, into something tangible in the world around us. And anything that is tangible in this world begins, at least with 1 foot forward, at least with standing up. We must be prepared to actually put our feet where our mouth is, to be prepared to stand up, to be counted, to be recognized, and to do what it is that God has asked us. As our ancestors said at the foot of Mount Sinai, for which we stood and will stand whenever we recite the 10 Commandments, Na'aseh v'nishma, we will hear and we will do. We will move. We will act. This is not merely an interesting bit of trivia that God has shared with us. This is a call for action in our lives. Shabbat Shalom.